Mentoria.
So these are your first 3 years into this journey of being a cabin crew. What's it like in the first 3 years? What kind of responsibilities do you have, and what kind of exposure do you get as a cabin crew in the first 3 years, and how does it change with time?
See, basically, you go through a rigorous training for 3 months after being selected as a cabin crew. Your first flight is your training flight. You are expected to be on par with everybody else because you never know what will happen on the flight with you. So you have to be ready with whatever that happens on the flight. So it's never first flight or my 1 year of flying or 3 years of flying. It's always the flight. That's it. So you have to be perfect in that. The passenger that who is traveling with you would not know that, oh, it's her first flight, so I need to be sweet to her. No. They will treat you like they will treat the other cabin crew as well. So your responsibilities remain the same when you are working on your first flight or you're working on your third flight or 3 years of flight. But yes, you do grow in the company from an online crew to becoming a supervisor and then to a purser eventually. So it does take time, but yes, initially you fly only domestic. In few of the companies, the policies are different. So talking about the domestic Indian carriers, first few years you do fly domestic, then you go to international, you get trained on wide body from a narrow body, and that's how you grow. So it's always learning that keeps us going, learn and acquiring more that keeps us growing. So basically it's a long journey, but it's worth it.
Okay, so you'll also have to tell us what a wide body is and what training in a wide body is versus the other one.
Okay, so wide body and narrow body, these are the two terms basically. And narrow body is just one aisle, 3 seats on this side, 3 on the other side, and there's only one aisle in the cabin in the flight. And a wide body is 2 aisles. There are 2, 3, 4, 3, or it's 2, 4, 3. These are the configuration depending upon the aircraft that you're flying on. And wide body basically flies to longer destination, and narrow bodies are used for the shorter destinations because of the fuel efficiency and because of the capacity that the aircraft can hold.
Okay, that's wonderful. So we'd also like to understand how the role of an online attendant versus that of a supervisor versus that of a purser is different. Like, what are the additional responsibilities that one has?
So whenever you're working on an aircraft, you have different positions. One of the person is the cabin in charge. One is the galley in charge. So the galley in charge looks after the galley, the catering that is happening on board. And the cabin in charge looks after the passengers that who requires what kind of assistance on board. And when you become a cabin supervisor, the galley in charge, the cabin in charge, everybody is under you. You have a lot of responsibility. You are basically in charge of the entire flight. So whatever goes wrong in the flight or whatever happens on the flight, it is you who has to take a call. It is you who has to look after that. And obviously with the position comes a lot of other responsibilities as well. So filling up your reports, keeping yourself up to date, and making sure that your team is also up to date is one of the responsibilities of cabin supervisor. Then comes the purser, that is a cabin manager. Cabin supervisors also work under cabin manager. This happens generally. You will see pursers on wide body, and they are the ones who are in charge of all the cabins. So now flight attendant, cabin crew, an online crew is in charge of one cabin, one zone. Flight supervisor, cabin supervisor is responsible for 2 cabins, the cabin 1 and cabin 2 that he is looking after. But a purser is responsible for 3 different cabins. That is the entire flight he is responsible for. So that is how your responsibilities increase. That is how, even while service-wise, there are a lot of different changes that you will see when you work in when you even sit as a passenger in different cabin. So you need to be on par with everything out there.